TED Talks. The people who outwardly claim to be about spreading ideas and starting conversations are not what they claim to be. Underneath their PR-friendly, feel-good veneer of a public image, TED employs a policy of dishonestly and underhandedly silencing anyone who dares to criticise their content. I experienced this firsthand in November of last year, and now another independent YouTube content creator has been the target of TED's deceptive practices. Here's a summary of my experiences with TED in November of last year. This is Kelly. Kelly recently did a TED Talk in Sydney she called Enough with the Fear of Fat. It was emailed to me a couple of days ago, and after I watched it, I knew it was something I should respond to. Kelly tells us that like any other form of systematic oppression, fat phobia is deeply rooted in complex structures like capitalism, patriarchy, and racism. She goes on to say, "We tend to see thinness as being universally good, responsible, successful, and in control of our appetites, bodies, and minds. We see these ideas again and again in the media, in public health policy, in doctors' offices, in everyday conversations, and in our own attitudes. We may even blame fat people themselves for the discrimination they face." Now, as you're probably aware, TED display their catch cry, ideas worth spreading, as prominently as they can whenever they can, and they appear to really get behind that statement. If you visit their website's About page, you'll learn that TED is a non-profit devoted to spreading ideas. Their mission is to spread ideas, and their agenda is to make great ideas accessible and spark conversation. So when I saw Kelly's video, I had a few of my own ideas and decided to spark a conversation, you know, in that true TED spirit. Needless to say, I was a little bit baffled when TED sent me a DMCA takedown notice a few hours after my video was uploaded. Yep. Apparently some ideas are worth silencing, and when they talk about sparking conversations, apparently what they mean is sparking only conversations that they approve of and have absolute control over. My response video to Kelly was for the purpose of offering criticism and comment. I used 3 minutes and 54 seconds, around 29% of her total video. It made up for around 20% of my video, which ran for 16.5 minutes. Considering I directly oppose many of her talking points, it's extremely unlikely that my video would harm Kelly's video's market. Or in other words, it's extremely unlikely that Kelly's video would miss out on any views as a result of my video existing. The point I'm making here is that by any reasonable standard, my video qualifies as fair use of copyrighted material, so I've sent TED a DMCA counter notice. Per standard procedure with any YouTube DMCA counter notice, I then had to wait 14 business days, during which TED were to commence legal proceedings against me, that is, if they were going to pursue the matter. The end of that period came and I hadn't heard a peep from TED, which meant they had effectively withdrawn their claim against me, so my video was reinstated. Now TED are a well-resourced media company. They would have known that my use of their content would fall under fair use, yet they issued a DMCA takedown notice anyway. Then when I issued them with a DMCA counter notice, they would have known that they had no intention of pursuing the matter. Yet they made me wait the entire 14 business days, where they could have released the claim at any time. And what really pisses me off about this strategy is thinking about the number of less experienced or perhaps less stubborn content creators that accept TED's false copyright claims on the assumption that TED must know what they're doing. They are TED after all. So I recently heard from a small YouTuber who goes by the name Schwinn Wiggins, who has recently been subjected to almost identical treatment from TED as I was.
In early February, TED released a talk called Our Story of Rape and Reconciliation, in which an alleged rape victim and her self-confessed rapist got up on stage to describe how he raped her and how she forgave him. What they described did not fit any definition of rape. It was basically drunken sex, which she regretted afterwards, and in fact it took over a year after the fact to decide she had in fact been raped. I decided to make a response video to this, offering my own opinions and criticisms of the talk.
I've seen Schwinn Wiggins' video critique of this TED Talk, and it certainly appears to fall under fair use provisions.
In my video, I used less than 50% of the material from their video. I let their material play for no more than a minute each time before stopping the video to offer commentary and critique. In doing so, I met all the criteria under the fair use provision of the Copyright Act.
And apparently TED agree with us. Well, they agree with us now that Schwinn Wiggins has shown them that he won't take their dishonest and underhanded bullying tactics lying down. The rest of his story is identical to mine. Ted issued a DMCA copyright claim, Schwinn Wiggins issued them with a counterclaim, they made him wait the full 14 days and opted not to proceed with any legal action, because they knew that no legal action was justified. As independent content creators, we simply cannot let the likes of Ted piss in our faces like this. A company such as theirs, particularly one that sprouts their pathetic plastic slogans about starting conversations and spreading ideas, should be held to the same standard as the rest of us. Please help us spread this video as far and wide as possible. If you know someone with a blog or podcast or news show, or any reason at all to be concerned with what Ted are doing, please ensure this video lands in their lap. You'll find links to Schwinn Wiggins' channel and related videos in the description. Thanks.